So I saw Lightyear and it wasn't very good, but I did not expect this movie to be good because this was just another below average Pixar flick that caters mainly to the younglings. You know what, honestly, I'm actually getting sick and tired of reviewing Pixar or Disney movies in 2022 because I'm usually rating them at least 2 stars or under. But as far as this one goes, it wasn't really a bad movie in any way, but there was just nothing really here of value, and I knew that coming when I was going into the theater. The only thing I can really say about it is pretty much just to replicate the audio from my Turning Red review and just slap it on here before going in depth. But at the very least, there were a few things I can say about it that showed potential. A lot of the issues with this movie just applied to Turning Red, because at least Turning Red had ambition to tackle unorthodox themes. Lightyear could have been made by Illumination or DreamWorks based off the quality drop of this movie. But dear God, I did not expect to leave the theater feeling like I just wasted $9 a ticket. This was the most generic space movie ever made, and I really didn't expect too much from that, since it's about Andy's Lightyear toy that he got based off a movie that was never mentioned in the first film at all, and it just came out of nowhere, and neither of the toys heard of it, and it wasn't played in any commercials or anything like that on the TV or whatever. I just remembered in Toy Story 1 that there was a toy commercial that gave Buzz the realization that he was just a toy. Thanks, Pixar. Alright, so what's good about this movie? I mean, well, the animation is pretty fantastic as expected. From the textures to the animation to the visual effects, it's the quality animation that you'd expect from Pixar, who pioneered this degree of animation and pretty much advanced it, and they still can't be topped. Chris Evans actually did a pretty good job, and his casting choice makes sense since Tim Allen is an old crusty guy. I mean, well, he did voice Buzz in Toy Story 4, but like Tom Holland and Chris Pratt, Disney loves the money, so slapping a post-Avengers actor would rack in the cash much faster. And the casting worked for the film, and Evans put some respect on Tim Allen's name and landed some of the one-liners pretty well, so good job, Evans. I really did like the space scenes. Some of the flying scenes were entertaining and fun, and I did like some of the fan service despite the pandering, and there was an exceptional amount of tension near the third act. That was pretty fun, I guess. I don't know. Alright, now let me get into this garbage plot, so spoilers at this point, there's your warning. So when the movie ended, the first thing that came to my mind was, didn't I just review Lost in Space 1998? Because that was half of this entire plot. Allow me to explain, please. So like Lost in Space 1998, someone has to go in space through a warp device in order to save people on a dangerous planet that they need to get off of before it threatens humanity. In Lost in Space, it's Earth. Here, it's a hostile planet that they're stuck on. And then the main character ends up accidentally going so far in the future that he's stuck on a planet in the future, and then he needs a certain type of material to help get a certain device off the planet that he's stuck on. And it ends up that the person that wants it and has it is someone that was the same character from the future, and that person wants to change the events of the past, which happens to be a detrimental plan or an evil plan that could of course threaten humanity. And I'm not saying that they use this as a blueprint for this movie, and if they did, they're definitely desperate to tell a sci-fi plot. But what really bothers me is that time travel is the most overused concept in a science fiction movie, and it's such a last second concept that just feels shoved into a movie like this. So I'm sick of time travel movies that think that they understand the rules by cheating the rules. But what really annoys me about this movie is that Buzz was written to be a stubborn idiot. So basically his plan is to hyperdrive through 3 space rings to test hyperspeed fuel so that it can be used to get everyone off the planet. And when he does leave the planet, 4 years have passed every 4 minutes he's in space. So if he fails several times and jumping 4 years into the future, why does he keep doing it with the exact same kind of material that failed him the last several times that he did it? What does he expect to get out of this? And why haven't the on-land dwellers helped him with looking for ways to improve the material if he keeps failing? What are they doing? If he's failed twice, why haven't they decided to help him? They're literally not giving a crap about what he does. But they said they decided to just stay on the planet and habitate there, and they'll just build a force field that keeps outside threats from entering. Yeah, years and years and years later. Remember in Interstellar where Matthew McConaughey went through the wormhole and time accelerated as opposed to time on Earth? Well, guess what? Everyone on Earth was still trying to find ways to solve the gravity equation while he was still doing his thing, looking for a habitable planet. They actually helped him while he was doing his thing. But here, no one decided to help improve the core material to help Buzz improve the hyperspeed. So everyone was just either stupid or lazy or both. And also, as far as the time dilation is concerned, why is there even a time dilation if there's nothing he's going through to dilate time? The rings that he goes through apparently must have an equally as strong gravitational pull as a black hole. Why would they create these rings to do that? Why would they create rings that require that much pull of gravitational strength? If Buzz is circling the sun going at max speed around it, then back to the rings, then how is he dilating time in 4 minutes? this? Why would they create something like this that requires so much gravity? It's just such an inconvenience to get this material thing improved. But guess what? The stupid robot cat actually solved the material problem after 62 years. What a plot convenience. So if this robot, whose name is Socks for some reason, was this smart to solve the problem with the fuel composition, why did they give him the Buzz and clearly designed it to help Buzz, but they weren't smart enough to use it to help them solve the problem with the fuel composition so that they can get off that crappy planet? Bad writing? Sounds like it. So in true stupidity, the colony decided to go after Buzz instead of hearing what he has to say about the fuel composition, and instead of shooting at them, they decide to send security with melee weapons after he's already in the ship seconds before launching into space. Like, y'all gonna clip the wings or something? Well, you didn't really seem to care much about helping Buzz with the fuel composition, so this doesn't surprise me at all. So he goes 22 years in the future and discovers that his friend's granddaughter and two other characters are part of some defense force, which are just comic relief characters at this point. Gotta hit that Pixar checklist, right? And then they go decide to fight Zurg even though they're outnumbered and Buzz has no plan. Literally just shoot at the bad guy until something happens or whatever. And let me tell y'all, Zurg sucks in this movie. And it's not just because he's an incompetent villain, it's because the idea of Zurg is devoid of continuity. So we learn that Zurg is actually, and I'm not kidding, future Buzz. Yes, he's an old version of Buzz from the future who succeeded in the test, but for no reason he decided to go further in the future and assume the identity of Zurg. He left all his crap around for somebody to just pick up and use. So I assume that Buzz has been creating timelines and possibilities, and apparently each one of them either escaped into the future or just died, I guess, which means that there has to be 62 Buzz Lightyears that apparently did this and each one of them had a different outcome? Okay, cool, but why did this older Buzz leave? The film never attempts to even address this flaw because it would make no sense in the time paradox. Does he plan on going back to Earth? Much like Will from Lost in Space, what is his plan? To kill his future self while the ship is going, or go to Earth and prevent the mission? Did he not realize this contradicts why he's even going back in time in the first place to prevent the mission? He's preventing his own reasons for even doing this if he tries to stop the mission. He's preventing why he's even planning to do all this in the first place. How dumb. I mean, I appreciate that they try to subvert Zurg, but this was at the purpose of trying to justify this god-awful character motivation to wrap up the time travel BS crap. But if this is Andy's favorite movie ever and the toy Buzz is familiar with Zurg, then why does a second Toy Story movie show us the real Zurg if this Buzz spin-off movie shows someone that's only using Zurg's gear? Is this a sequel or a reboot of some sort of Buzz movie that we never saw? Like, what's happening? Is it just a twist for the sake of a twist? Who knows? Doesn't matter. But Zurg and Buzz shoot at each other for over 10 freaking minutes, and Buzz learns that the planet isn't so bad because he can't get off of it. That's pretty much it. And speaking of Buzz, it's safe to say that he's pretty one-dimensional in this movie. He explains at one point that he went to the academy, and instead of showing this, they decided to just dump it verbally all over the audience. I think it would make more sense if his attachment to Earth had some context to it, but instead the film just throws this on us for sympathy reasons. And I believe that there's a sequel in the works, so yeah, I'm definitely excited to see that. But overall, this was a pretty below average Pixar flick. Decent idea, but unfortunately I think I've had enough. Just give me the original series from ABC and I'll be okay with that. So I think it's safe to say I'm just going to give this the same rating I gave Turning Red, and that's 2 out of 5 stars. Alright, peace, peeps.